So what is the shadow and how can we apply it to heal our lives? Shadow work has become a bit of a buzzword over the last, I would say, couple of years. I've coached in shadow work for 17 years. I trained in it and I love it. And I'm going to explain to you how it can help you and what it actually is, right? Because the word shadow work doesn't sound like a lot of fun at all, but it actually is when you really understand what it means. It's basically alchemizing your dark into light, knowing how to alchemize your dark into light so you stay light. It's the opposite of just staying nice and positive all the time, right? Which is not the whole you. It's about being able to be all of you by actually making friends with these parts of you that you are not showing to yourself or to the world. So the shadow are the aspects of ourselves that we're hiding from ourselves or another because we don't like them, we haven't accepted them, we find them unacceptable, and perhaps others in our past have found them unacceptable too. So if you were like me and growing up, you had lots of big feelings, right? Kids have lots of big feelings. So often we would be crying, we would be shouting, we would be laughing a lot. And our parents, for a lot of us, you know, they had a lot to do and they would tell us to be quiet, or they would tell us to calm down, wouldn't they? Or they would tell us to stop making a fuss, right? And our beloved parents, for them, the only reason that they found us too much was that actually we were showing them the part of themselves that was too much for somebody else and then them. And so they shut that part of themselves down. So we really as children have been brought into our parents' lives to really allow them to look at their own shadows. And so many parents I know weren't able to, they weren't supported to. And so we got shut down because they got shut down too as children. When we get shut down as a child and we get told, don't be that, don't be that. And we start to understand that being that makes mummy unhappy. Crying too much makes daddy uncomfortable. We start to close it down. And so it becomes a shadow. And as it becomes a shadow, it means shadow is really, we can't see it anymore and we don't have access to it anymore. Which means as we get older and older and older and older and older, sounds really old, doesn't it? We can't feel how we feel so much anymore because it's in the shadows. So we're not going to feel how he hurts me, how she hurts me. We're not going to feel it as much because we have shut it down essentially. And if we're not connected to that part of ourselves anymore, then how can we use it? But if we had kept our feelings all the way through, then I will feel how I feel when I'm around you. And if I'm honest about how I feel when I'm around you, I will have always made the right decisions for myself. So shutting off these parts of ourselves as children means as adults, we want to be finding them, to make friends with them, so we can get the gift from them, so we can become whole, and then we can use them. And if we can use these parts of ourselves, because every part of you right now has a gift, then we can use them to succeed in our life. Otherwise, there's just like half of us walking around. So it's really important for us to be able to find and use our dark side. I'll give you an example. So say as a child, you did have your feelings shut down and you were only really allowed to be the nice part of yourself. Then as an adult, you have really noisy neighbors and you've tried to ask them to turn the music down at 3 a.m, but they don't care. They don't care at all about you. And you're actually thinking, I probably have to move house because that's the only way I'm going to get this to change. But if you understand shadow work, you're going to understand that they're showing you, they've come into your sphere, not just to annoy you, right? They've come into your sphere for your whole beingness to own the aspect they're showing you. So you say, well, what is it that they're showing me? Well, they don't care about me. And you go, well, where is that in me? Not where am I doing that to somebody else? Because you might be, so you might look at that. Where am I already doing that to somebody else? But for a lot of people that would classify themselves as light workers, star seeds, actually, it's where am I doing that to myself? Where am I not caring for me? Where am I almost careless with my needs, right? I leave it to the end of the day to go to the loo. I don't speak up for what I want. I don't say yes to myself. I'm constantly saying yes to others, which means I'm saying no to myself. Where are they doing to you what you've already been doing to you? Because they couldn't have done it to you if you weren't already doing it to yourself. So that's shadow work. When you can alchemize that, you can clear and heal that, your neighbors will either rise up with you in consciousness, right? And they'll apologize and they won't do it anymore, or they'll tell you the next time they're going to have a party so you can organize your day, or they will literally move away. And I have had that experience. We had neighbors back when we lived in Australia, and they were a complete nightmare. And a psychic girlfriend of mine said to me, Marina, they're never going to move. It's going to be you that has to move first. And I said to her, watch me. I was just like, this cannot carry on, right? It wasn't music they were doing other stuff. And other neighbors were really worried and were calling the police on them. And I mean, it was a really great place to live. And then these guys rocked up. But I realized the sooner I can own the shadows you're showing me, the sooner I will vibrate you out. And that is exactly what I did. I went into my subconscious mind, did my healing processes, and I cleared and healed everything they were showing me. I met every single thing they were showing me. Where is that in me? Where is that in me? Where is that in me? Where am I already doing that to me? And then I pulled out of our house one day. I totally forgot. I left it for about a month, totally forgot. Pulled out of my house, took a left, looked at their house, and it had a for rent sign up there. Yay! And they moved out a month later. They actually moved back out of Australia. So how cool is that? This is my heart. Look, isn't it beautiful? I can't remember the name of it, but you know, I just like holding it. And you know, my grandparents, my grandfather Hans Jacobi worked with Carl Jung back in the 1930s. And my grandmother was a very eminent psychotherapist, Jungian psychotherapist, and both of them, Hans Jacobi, Marianne Jacobi, they knew this back then. They were helping people back then. And I found Jungian life coaching really by accident. I found it when I was a single mom and I was needing to change my whole life. But no matter how much I spoke or talked to the outside world, it never changed. People didn't change, right? And I realized that I was literally getting more and more frustrated and scared and isolated. I could feel myself going down until I discovered shadow work. And what I did was, instead of running away from my light, I ran to my light and I alchemized it. So that's shadow work. That's how you can start alchemizing what's happening for you in your family, what's happening for you with your partner, what's happening for you with your children. Alchemizing the darkness in the outside world. So important right now that we know how to be in the world, alchemize the denser energies so that we can stand genuinely and stay in our light. Not just stay in our light after a meditation, right? After an hour after you've meditated, you're like, woohoo, I feel so great. How do you feel at the end of the day? That's a whole nother ballgame. I love shadow work. So I'm running a 6-week Shadow Alchemy Intensive. It starts in a few weeks, 3 weeks time. And if you are wanting to join, it's basically to use conscious shadow work and to use subconscious shadow work to heal your childhood trauma, to heal anywhere where there's emotions and feelings trapped, to heal your wounds, to heal painful dynamics. It might be a situation that you're in right now. That's going to run for 6 weeks, and I'm really excited. You get a 1-year access to my library of 100 plus classes and masterclasses. And you also, for the first 5 of you that book, you also get a free one-on-one with me for an hour to clear self-sabotage. And we're going to use shadow work, because this is literally, and the link of it is below here, you have this power to feel really, really good no matter what is going on for you. And so many people will look at someone like me and they'll go, yeah, nothing much has happened to you probably. You're probably fine. I'm like, are you joking? I've had a shit ton occur. How I stay in my light is because I'm not scared of my dark. And if I'm not scared of my dark internally, and I clear it and heal it regularly, and I'm also not scared of the dark in the outside world. So it has helped me to retain my light during this time. And when I've fallen flat, and I have, and I'm sure you have, and I'm sure I will again, I actually have the tools I need to always know how to genuinely come back up. Because if all I do is think positive, right, then all I'm doing is suppressing and denying what's really there. If half of me is light and half of me is dark, why would I suppress the dark, right? Why would I do that? Why would you do that? You have so much light in you right now, and the light is in the dark, right? Carl Jung said the gold is in the light, right? And it could be said that the dark actually is in the light when we chase the light too much. If that's all we do, it gets too much. Anyway, so wherever you're at right now, just kind of wrap your arms around yourself, just give yourself a gorgeous hug, and just know that you are a born alchemizer. You have this power in you right now to turn it all around. And it has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with what they did or said. You actually have more power than what's going on in the outside world right now. So all my love to you. Come onto my website, marinaj.net. I've also got my podcast, the Turn Yourself On podcast. I've also got my book, the Turn Yourself On book, which is great if you want to do more self-study. And if you want more support and really, really master this, really get good at shadow work so that you can genuinely ascend, right? Because we can't ascend if we are stuck in the emotional side of things. Then come join me for the Shadow Alchemy Intensive, which starts soon. Another kiss.